Okay. Very good afternoon, good evening to everyone. We're going to start our today's Dhamma sharing. So before I start the talk, so I would like to request every one of you kindly to recite Namo Tassa 3 times to observe the precepts. Say Namo Tassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Saranaгаmanang sampunnang. Pānātipātā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Surāmeraya majjapamā dattānā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Tisaranena saddhim pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādetabbhaṃ. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Okay, dear children and wholesome people in the Dhamma, today as usual, you all have come to our temple to take part in this wholesome activity which is known as Dhamma Deshana. We have been conducting this series of Dhamma Talk since I stepped into Australia, and it had been now more than 3 years. So I'm very happy to be here today to talking to you based on one of the important topics, as you all know. So for Buddhists, this month is very important month. It is because this month all the devotees, they're going to have a big event in the temple that is called Katina ceremony. So having considered about the importance of Katina ceremony, I purposely decided to talk on this special area because most of the time our parents, they have proper understanding of Katina ceremony, but I don't think that our children, most of the time our children, they might have not proper understanding or get knowledge about Katina ceremony. So therefore I decided to tell them some of the important explanations and teachings about Katina ceremony. So kindly be with me until the end of the session, end of the talk, and you will be able to learn a lot of beautiful and meaningful information regarding the Katina ceremony. Okay, So I'll be talking to you about Katina ceremony, and you will be able to know how Katina ceremony is started and what are the causes that made Katina ceremony to take place, and also you will be able to know how people practice Katina ceremony in the modern time. Okay, so these things you will be able to get from this talk if you listen attentively. So please bear with me and try to listen carefully to me all the way to the end. So the Katina, the word Katina or the ceremony is started in India actually, right? This concept came into be the concept of Katina arose or started in India during the times of the Buddha. Okay, there are a lot of reasons for that arising of Katina ceremony. Let's learn some of them. As you all know that in India, especially Sri Lanka, India, we have two seasons, right? We call rainy season and also summer season, right? Most of the time we only have two seasons. Unlike in Australia, we have four seasons actually, right? But in India, in Sri Lanka, so only two seasons are there, right? One is rainy and the other one is summer season and rainy season. So normally, summer season, rainy season starts late May and late June, most probably July. July, it is July, August, September, October, November, or most probably November until October. This season will be there, rainy season, right? From July to October. So this period is considered as a rainy season in India, in ancient time. But I don't know how now because it may have changed now. So normally in Sri Lanka, during July August means very hot season, summer season. But in India, that time it is considered as rainy season. But in some countries, especially in Singapore, nowadays it's really rains every day. So like that, some countries actually gets rains during this season, during this time, but some countries may not get that kind of rain, right? Anyway, that is how that is how caused Pokatina words to come into be. Okay, so during this period of time, people find it's really difficult to travel. Right, during the rainy season, people find quite difficult to travel. Right, it makes sense because during the times of the Buddha, people used to travel here and there using their food. So most probably sometime they may have experienced some kind of difficulties in terms of traveling because due to heavy rain, people may get a lot of problems for traveling. Um, so that's why it is called like rainy season. Rainy season causes a lot of problems for people, yeah, for their day-to-day activities. Okay, so was there is a special term called was, right? It is Pali term. Was means rain, right? So wasa mean residents during the rainy season, like stay in one place during the rainy season, right? That is called vasa. During the rainy season, people used to stay in. Monks also like that. Some ascetics of other religions also like that. They usually stay in one place during this rainy season. So vasavasa means basically reside in one place during rainy season. Okay, that is mean. So this weather, sometimes this rainy season may cause some difficulties and problems for human life, right? If you see, especially even nowadays, if you see in India, sometime when India gets a lot of heavy rain downpouring, so you can see a lot of floods in there, right? Flooding areas, and the lives of the people may heavily or severely get affected by this kind of heavy and severe rain. So, due to the possibility of causing danger to the monks and also to the plants and living creatures on the ground, so people decided to stay in one place and spend their time until this rainy season ends, right? So especially if you happen to go outside during the rainy time, you may see some kind of worms and some kind of creatures on the ground, right? Sometimes I have seen here when it rains, if I go out, I can see some kind of long worms come out from the earth, right? And some kind of other creatures like snails and different types of creatures may appear on the surface when it rains. So considering about this matter, some ascetics from other religions, they decided to spend their time in one place without going out during this rainy season, right? That is some kind of requirements of some particular religions, which is called Jainism. So in that particular religion, people they taught people, or they taught people to be in one place during this rainy season. They don't ask or allow their practitioners to go out during this rainy season, because they consider if they go out and they might step on these creatures and plants and worms, snails, and other kind of creatures may get died if you happen to step on them, right? So considering about these matters, people of that particular religion, they decided to stay in one place and spend their rainy season likewise until it finishes. Okay, it finishes. Um, um, so, but the ascetics of other religions like Jainism, they already practiced this practice. Already they had this. They stayed in one place during this rainy season between July to October. Okay, but you know the ascetics, the monks or recluse of Gautama Buddha, they did not practice this. Even the Buddha sometime he already stayed one place with his monks, but some monks, they used to go out for alms, and they, you know that the monks' life usually like they had a nomadic life, right? They travel from one place to another. It's called nomadic, right? Nomadic, yeah. Wandering life. The monks, they have wandering life, right? So they may travel from one place to another, from one village to another village to get their food, to collect their food. And also the Buddha's advice for monks after his first batch of monks, 60 monks, he advised his monks, go forth and deliver my teachings for the sake of many people and for the happiness of many people, out of compassion and kindness towards all living beings. So that was the advice of the Buddha, and he even he told the monks not to go on one way, same way for two people, right? He asked like that because he wanted his message, his teachings to be spread all over the world. So therefore, he asked people, monks, not to go two people in the same way, two monks in the same path. Okay, so that was the system, that was the pattern of monks' life during the times of the Buddha. The monk did not even care if it is weather season or summer season. They just practice their celibacy life, going here and there. But some accusations came to be, right? Some people from other religions, they look at this and they were not really happy having seen this behavior of disciples of Gautama Buddha, and the people started criticizing why Gautama Buddha's disciple, they travel even it is rainy season, why they can't stay in one place and practice like we do. They may kill living beings, they may step on plants, they may disturb crops, right? So in that way they had a lot of accusation from other religious people. Having considered this matter, then the Buddha declared, then the Buddha decided to promulgate a Vinaya rule, a disciplinary rule for monks to stay in one place and intensify their celibacy life, intensify practice of meditation and practice of morality, right? So considering two reasons Buddha decided to introduce this disciplinary rule. The first one is, he said, monks were exposing themselves to danger, right? If they go out during this rainy season, sometimes they may get different kind of sicknesses like fever, runniness, and also sometimes, you know, that if the roads are too muddy, so it may cause some problems, right? It is really dangerous if you go out, or you might wash away, right, due to heavy flooding. So that are the dangers of a heavy rain, right? So considering about the safety of monks, the Buddha decided monks to stay in one place. Okay. The other one is, secondly, they were unintentionally damaging the agricultural crops or small living creatures, right? You know that when it rains, after a few days later, you may see some kind of new lives of plants may emerge from the ground, right? Small plants or small creatures, they may come to the surface after sometimes of rainy season, right? That is the nature of rain, right? So likewise, people started thinking about these two reasons. The Buddha decided to introduce this special rule, which is called, please stay in one place during this rainy season, as other recluse or ascetic like what they do, like how they do. So that's how this rainy season or rains retreat starts in India. So it came from the other religion, right? Actually, some other people, they already practiced this, and then the Buddha introduced this new disciplinary rule for his community, right? So that is how it happened. Okay. So now we have to understand who is suitable for observing rains retreat. We have to know that not lay people can observe rains retreat. Not Samanera monks, novice monks, and nuns can observe rains retreat. Only a higher ordained monk, like the higher ordained monk. Do you know who are they? Yeah, high ordained monk who got high ordination in dispensation, in Buddhist dispensation, right? There are four groups of benefactors in Buddhism, right? Like bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika, monks, nuns, and lay male devotees and lay female devotees. These are the four types of groups that conducive for the longevity of the Buddhist dispensation. Okay, so then only higher ordained monk they can observe this rains retreat. not any, not Samaner, novice monks or nuns. They can't observe unless they become higher ordained one day. They can observe this rains retreat. Okay, they are called Upasampada monks, and Samanera monks and nuns, right? So only Upasampada monks or higher ordained monks and nuns, they can observe rains retreat, right? If not, others, they have to wait until they become higher ordained monks and nuns to observe rains retreat, right? That is the disciplinary rule according to the Buddha. But you know that seniority of order. You know this. You mean the seniority, like how do you define he's a senior monk or junior monk? How do you define? In Buddhism, the seniority of monks usually based on how many vasas or how many rain retreats he has observed. Let's say that I am a monk, I'm a high ordained monk. So if I have observed some kind of many rain retreats for many years, like 5 years, 10 years, if I have observed rains retreat, so I can be considered as a higher person, higher senior monk, right? So seniority of monks usually depends on how many vasas or how many rains retreat he has observed. Understand? So that's how they calculate your seniority. Understand? Yeah, it's a very special thing. But during this time, we have not neglected lay devotees as well. So during this time, lay devotees can make enormous merits actually, right? They can accumulate, accrue a lot of merits during this time. For both monks and nuns and lay devotees, they all have possibilities and opportunities to accumulate and accrue lot of merits, generate a lot of merits during this time, right? When the Theravada monk observe this kind of rains retreats, then people come and offer things to monks, right? You come and provide for requisites for monks, like food, lodging, medicine, and clothes, right? So if you provide these kind of 4 requisites to the monk during these special times of rains retreat, you can generate enormous merits actually, right? So the merits really important for your life during this time. And also there are some, in a way, it is really benefit for both lay people and Buddhist monks. This rainy retreat, right? Retreat is really benefit for both lay people and monks. Understand? That is why it is really important for both of us to make merits and to intensify our practice and also our celibacy life. You know, there's some countries, some people, they practice some kind of habits they have. Sometimes some lay people, they have some kind of habits. If you go to Thailand, or Thailand or some other countries, during this time, during this 3 months of rains retreat, some people, they get ordained actually. In Thailand, I have seen it. Not only in Thailand, but sometime in Sri Lanka also. During this 3 months of rains retreat, people, they dedicate their whole life for Buddhism. Then they get ordained and they spend 3 months rains retreat of this month. And at the end of 3 months, they go back to their lay life again. Right? That is how they practice during this rains retreat. Not only that, sometimes some people, some lay people, they observe higher precepts during this time. Sometimes they observe 8 precepts during this period of time, right? So that's how they make use of this very excellent period of time of 3 months. Vasana Kala, or 3 months of rains retreat. That's how the people spend the time meaningfully and productively. And not only that, you know that sometimes they make some special vows during this time, special determination during this time. What would be them? Like if they have some kind of bad habits, like smoking, or some kind of other bad habits if they have, so they make a strong determination and firm determination vows not to eat meat, or not to eat or not to drink alcohol or smoke during this period of time, right? During this 3 months of period of time, 3 months of time, during this 3 months of rains retreat. So likewise, different countries, especially Theravada countries, they practice in differently these three periods of time, right? Because they know that rains retreat is really important to intensify their religious practices in a productive and meaningful way. So that is the importance of the practice, important practices of this rains retreat. Okay, and do you know the duration of this rain retreat? How long this rainy retreat's gonna be there? How long? How many months? Mostly 3 months, right? 3 months are usually 3 months. So you see, it starts July, full moon of July, Asalapoya. That is the day that we observe rains retreat. And from July, August, September, October, within these 3 months, we stay in one place, and we spend our celibacy life, intensifying our celibacy like practices and morality during this time. And at the end of at the full moon of October, that's mean tomorrow, we're going to conclude, we're going to end this rains retreat, right? We start it in July, and then it ends in October, the full moon of October. It's mean what Wapoya, during what Wapoya we will conclude and end this. From October, from the full moon day of October until November full moon day is considered as Katina Chivara month of Katina Chivara, right? That is the month that people organize a Katina ceremony in every Theravadian temples, right? So this month is very important. So from tomorrow, when monks conclude and complete their rains retreat, so people can organize different organize big events like Katina ceremony from tomorrow onwards, right? So that is why it is really important this period of time. So when everything is ready, there should be a suitable resident place for monks to observe their rains retreat. You know that not everywhere monks can observe the rains retreat, because sometimes they might find some difficulties after they have observed rains retreat. Therefore, there should be some particular types of safe place for monks to observe rains retreat. You know that during the times of the Buddha, monks did not have special prepared or built arama or kuti avasa like now we have. But later on, some devotees offered some kind of monasteries to the monks, right, during the times of the Buddha. But at the beginning, they did not have any kind of suitable or any kind of a special built aramas or avas or kuti or house or place for them to observe rains retreat. But normally they observe rains retreat under the trees, or sometimes they make some kind of kuti, or they make some kind of small hut or something suitable place for them to observe rains retreat. We call them avasa, right? However, later many benefactors or many well-wishers or benefactresses, they started donating big temples or big aramas or monasteries to the Lord Buddha. Especially, you know that Velvanarama ashrama, the temple, monastery in Rajaganuvar is donated by King Bimbisara, right? King Bimbisara. And also Velvanarama is donated by King Bimbisara. Jethavanarama is donated by Anatha Pindika. And also Purvarama donated by Visakha, yeah, the chief benefactress of the Buddha. So in that way, later on, many benefactors and the other benefactors, they donated big monasteries to monks. So that monasteries really helped monks to observe rains retreat during the times of the Buddha. Therefore, there should be a proper place for monks to observe rains retreat, and there should be people there to help monks with requisites, right? The people should be able to come and attend to monks, right? They should be able to come and donate things to the monks like food, medicine, lodgings, right? And also clothes. So those four basic requisites should be provided by devotees to the monks, right, during this period of time. So there should be access to lay devotees to the place. Monks should be able to get food. They should be able to go and find or collect food in this special area. So then monk can actually observe rains retreat. And also they should be able to people should be able to come into the temple and get some advice from monks, and they should be able to come and listen to some talks from the monks, right? They should be able to come and do some chanting or recite some discourses of the Buddha. So this kind of capabilities and accesses should be there for both monks and the lay people if they want to observe rains retreat, right? And that means not everywhere is suitable place for people, for monks to observe rains retreat, and also for people to come and practice. So there should be a special place or the well arranged place, and there should be well organized people to help monks to undertake their rains retreat, to protect their rains retreat during this period of time. And also beginning of rains retreat, normally people they come to temple, they clean up all the things, right? Especially in our temple, before they invite monks to observe rains retreat, so they clean all the temple. They sometimes renovate the temple, they color the temple, right? Sometimes they start applying whitewash, right, to the temple. They clean the temple because they want to make the temple clear, the place clear before monks start their rains retreat, right? That is how people prepare for these special types of rains retreat. And also, if there are some group of people who going to be sponsors for this rains retreat, so they invite monks to observe rains retreat, and sometimes they when they invite, they offer some piece of cloth we call a bathing cloth. It's called vasavasika. They usually use that bathing cloth with the other requisites to the monks when they make invitation to monks, like please observe rains retreat for the sake of yourself and for the sake of ourselves in this temple, at this temple. We will provide you all the 4 basic requisites for you to observe your rains retreat. That's how people promise, lay devotees promise to help monks, providing all these necessities for monks, okay, during this time. So that will really helpful for monks to observe and protect these rain retreats. So then, on the full moon of Asala in July, so monks have been accepted invitation, maybe earlier or maybe on the same day or earlier. Most of the time, people do invite monks to observe rains retreat 1 or 2 days earlier than the full moon day. Sometimes in Sri Lanka, I think they invite monks on Asala full moon day, exactly same day. But in here, because sometimes people are really busy, they can't find some time. So usually they arrange invitation, was invitation program on Saturdays or weekends. So then they formally invite monks in that way. And then having after we got invitation from lay devotees, we go to the shrine on that night, on the night of full moon, maybe the day after full moon day, okay? The day after full moon day, we go to the main shrine, one of the main shrines, and we go there, monks all together, monks who are going to observe rains retreat in that particular temple. They come and get together in a shrine, and they have some special ways of observing rains retreat. Monks usually recite in this way: Imasming vihare imante masang vassang upemi, ida vassang upemi. Likewise, they said, okay, I will observe 3 months of rains retreat in this temple without breaking. Right? That's how monk promise to observe rains retreat at the particular temple. Right? After they got invitation, but monks has priority. It is monk's duty. It's duty of high ordained monk to observe rains retreat at a temple, even though people invite or not. Right? It is monk's duty to observe rains retreat, even the people do not invite or not. Right? It is monk's duty. So likewise, normally monks did that. We did that 3 months ago. 3 months ago, we observed by saying imasming vihari imantema sangvasangupemi devasangupemi. Likewise, we all together, all the ordained monk, high ordained monk at this temple, we got together the day after the full moon day of Asala, and then we recited that and we observed rains retreat. And tomorrow we're going to conclude it successfully. We're going to conclude it successfully tomorrow. And from tomorrow onwards, people are able to practice and organize Katina ceremony as they wish. Okay, so you are very lucky. And what are the activities during this rainy season or rains retreat people can do and monk can do? The Buddha said that this period of time, this period of 3 months, are really important for both lay people and for monks, right? Why? Because monks usually stay in one place and they can spend more time on discourses of the Buddha. They can read discourses and they can practice meditation, and also they can give Dhamma talks to many people, right, during this time. So it really helpful. These 3 months are really helpful for monks to develop and enhance their celibacy life, right, according to the Buddha. Right. And also, not only that, it is time for people to come and perform some wholesome activities, right, during this time. They can come to temple, like lay devotees can come to temple, offer some dana, food to the monks, some medicine to monks, some clothes to monks, and some other requirements for the monks, right? You can do that during the period of 3 months of rains retreat. You know that this temple, after we have observed a rains retreat, every time, every day they come to temple and ask, Bhante, do you need anything? Do you want to go to see a doctor? Or do you have any medical appointments that we can bring you? Or do you need any other kind of help from us? So in that way, usually the people who sponsored for this rains retreat this year, they usually come and help and ask from monks. That's how you should spend your time during this period of time, right? 3 months of rains retreat. So it is time for both lay people and monastics to spend their time productively and meaningfully to intensify their celibacy life and morality, right? That is why Buddha said that these uh, 3 months of time are really important for both of you, both of us, to do a lot of wholesome activities for the sake of our life, right? And then also, when monks observe rains retreat, they also had to do some kind of commitments during this time. Commitments, right? Monks, that there should be valid reason for absence from residence. Sometimes monks cannot be absent from the resident place during this period, 3 months of period of time, right? Why I say that? So monks can't go out during this time and stay overnight outside, right? During this 3 months of time, if they have observed rains retreat, unless there are some valid and reasonable reasons, monks are allowed to go out and stay for 7 days, and at night of the 7th day they must return back to the temple where they reside for rains retreat, right? Otherwise, other than that, monks can't go out and stay overnight. So they may consider as they may break rains retreat if they stay over a night outside. Understand? So therefore, monks, if you have if monks have observed rains retreat, so they have to stay in all the time. But nowadays, it is quite difficult for monks to stay at home at temple, because sometimes they have to go out for religious activities, funerals, and to do other things, and housewarming blessing for lunch dana. It is okay, they still can practice like that, but they have to come back at temple before the night, right? And when they leave the temple, they have to make a firm and strong determination. If something may not happen to me on the way, in my journey, if accidents, or if something may not happen to me, I will definitely return to the place where I reside, or where I observe rains retreat. So in that way, we had to make determination and promise before we leave the place. Okay, that's why if you go to Sri Lankan temple or some other temple, you can see on the upside of the road, not road actually, door. On the upper side of the door, you can see it's called Ayam Wasana Kalo. This is the rains retreat period. That sign may give some clues or reminds monks, if they go out, if they leave temple, that sign may remind them to come back, or that sign may remind them to make a promise before they leave the temple, right, to come back. Otherwise, if they are forgetful to come back to the temple within that day, so they may break rains retreat. Understand? So that is why it is very important to make a firm determination and promise before they leave the temple, that they should come back. Okay. Then there are some situations, like, let's say that if my parents of monks are sick, let's say that my father and mother, if they get sick, I am allowed to go and visit them. I am allowed to go and stay with them for 7 days. But the night of the 7th day, I have to return back to the place where I have observed rains retreat. Understand? If my family members of my family, if they are ill, so I still are able to or allowed to go and visit them, and but I had to come back within 7 days. Understand? And also there are some other reasons, valid reason for monks to go. Actually, it say that 7 groups of people are there mentioned in commentary to discipline. It says that like this. Okay, let's say that a fellow monk or nun, a female trainee, a novice monk or novice nun, a male lay follower or female lay follower. If they have send you a genuine or reasonable message for you to come and help them or come and engage in some kind of activities if they have, so then monk is allowed to go, right? Allowed to go, considering about these 7 groups of people. So the monk is allowed to go, but he has to come back, right, within 7 days or within that day, right? If not, that monk may break rain retreat, right? So if they have some kind of certain legitimate situation from these 7 group of people, then monks are allowed to go and attend. Understand? So like if they are ill or if they are sick or concerning about other monastic life, so the monks are allowed to go. And also let's say that the place where the monks have observed rain retreat, if it is dangerous place, or if they have some anxiety or possibility of having broken a disciplinary rule, also they are allowed to go leave from that place, and but they have to come back within 7 days, right? If the place is dangerous or if there are some kind of situation in that place, so monks are allowed to go, but they had to come back within 7 days. Okay, and also then having completed all these requirements, monks may have completed monks are completed these 3 months of rains retreat, and then there is another important things that monks usually engage in doing. That is called initiation ceremony, pavarana ceremony, right? Tomorrow we're going to do it. Tomorrow, yeah, full moon day of WAP, we're going to do it, pavarana. It's like initiation day, initiation ceremony, pavarana day, okay? So all the monks who have observed rains retreat in that particular temple, they had to come together, and then without considering seniority of any monks, so everybody may ask, please, if you have seen any weakness of me, if you have seen any faults of me during these 3 months of time, please tell me, right? And also the if monk can tell like that, if you have seen some weakness on me, or weakness in me, or some faults on me that are not really suitable to me, please tell me. And if I have done something wrong to you for your living, verbally, mentally, without not knowing or unintentionally, please tell me. So it is in a way like confession. So every monks get together, they confessed each other, because we don't know if something may happen during this period of time. Right, sometime it could be happen, some kind of misunderstanding, some kind of quarrels, and some kind of words may have a exchange in between them. So likewise, if monks have told, or if something had happened within these 3 months of time, so they ask forgiveness from each other, right? Forgiveness from each other, seek for forgiveness from each other. So in a way, they confessed each other if they have done something wrong. Now that is very important. That is really, really important for the duration of longevity of Buddhist dispensation, right? So we can discuss about our weak points, some kind of unethical ways and unethical practices if monks have. So we can discuss and we can talk about if they are not suitable for monks' life. So you can point them out, right? You can point, oh, monks, this is not good. You have done this unwanted actions and unwanted words during this period of time. So they are not really good for your life, for the monk's life. So please avoid that, right? So in a way, monks may point out the errors and mistakes of other monks if they have done during this time period of time, right? That is the main purpose of this Pavarana ceremony, right? So having completed all those things, now come to the special event. It is called robe season, Katina month, the Katina robe offering month, right? So that is a very important one. Having completed all the 3 months of Friends retreat and having provided all necessities, people now are able to donate or practice or organize this Katina ceremony, Katina robe offering ceremony. This term Katina has a special meaning actually, right? The Katina, word Katina has a special meaning. What is that? It's like that hard. The Katina is a Pali word. The meaning of Katina, word Katina, is like hard, right? Hard and stiff, and also it also means like that. It's like a wooden framework that monks use it to sew their robes in the times of the Buddha, right? Because sometimes, like during the times of the Buddha, monks collect the piece of clothes from different places, right? And then they need to sew it as a robe, right? Sometimes they use this wooden framework made of wood, like this wood. So they use it to sew their robes, right? That's the word Katina, meaning of Katina. And also this Katina robe can only get monks who have observed rains retreat, right? If monk has observed rains retreat during this 3 period of time without breaking, and then he is qualified, he is suitable to accept this robe, right? Katina robe. But let's say that if monk has broken this Katina, this rains retreat, so he is not eligible to get this robe, right? So that's why it is very important for monks to observe these rains retreat without breaking, right? If that monks is capable or suitable or eligible to get the robe, okay? And also this Katina ceremony cannot be held or cannot be done every times of the year, right? It can be taken place. The Katina ceremony or Katina robe offering can be taken place once at a temple and once a year only, right? So you can do other wholesome activities any day of the year, any weeks of the year, like offering dana or giving dana to monks or organizing retreats like 8 precept retreats or meditation retreats. So you can organize any other kind of wholesome events or activities any day of the year or any days of the year or any weeks of the year, any months of the year. But Katina robe offering ceremony or Katina robe ceremony only be able to take place once a year at one temple, right? The temple can't have 2 Katina ceremonies within 1 year, right? Only one temple can have 1 Katina ceremony in 1 year, within 1 year, right? Understand that? That is why it is really rare and important ceremony. Okay. And also, offering of Katina ceremony is one of the highest 8 offerings in Buddhism. You know that there are 8 types of offerings in Buddhism, great 8 types of offerings in Buddhism, right? There are 8 types of great offerings in Buddhism. Attamahakusa, have you heard about that? There are 8 types of great wholesome activities in Buddhism, we call them. So Katina ceremony is one of them, right? Katina ceremony is one of them. It comes first. That means it's really, really important one. Like offering of Katina robe it comes at the first place of 8 offerings. The second one is offering of 8 requisites of monks. Attapirikara, offering of 8 requisites, like that. Yeah, that's considered as also highest offering, one of highest offerings. And offering of a place of resident monks. Yeah, if you build a house or kuti and offer to monks, and it is considered as one of the highest offerings, right? Giving a resident place to monk. And the fourth one, offerings of alms to monk. If you donate food to the monks, is also considered as one of the highest 8 wholesome activity offerings. Okay, and also a gift of the Buddhist doctrine, Dhamma, right? Of giving Dhamma, providing teachings of Buddha to other, is also considered as one of the highest offerings, offerings of 8 offerings, out of 8 offerings, okay? And also offering of lands and fields to the Buddhist order or Buddhist dispensation is also considered as one of the highest offerings, right? And also constructions of images and statues of the Buddha is also considered as one of the 8 highest offerings in Buddhism, okay? And also build and offer toilets for the use of monks. If you can build or donate a toilet, if you can build a toilet at a temple, that is also considered as one of the highest 8 offerings in Buddhism. So, offering of Katina robe comes at first, right? That means it is very, very important and really important. So now we have to understand the origin behind this offering of Katina ceremony, right? So you know that there is a special story behind this Katina ceremony, offering of Katina robe ceremony, okay? You know that according to Buddhist literature, the Buddha was residing at Jetavana monastery in Savatthi, Savatnur. Buddha was there at that time, and then the 30 group of monks, a group of 30 forest monks, they wanted to go and see the Buddha, and they wanted to go and spend their rains retreat together with the Buddha at Savatthi, in Savatthi, okay? So on the way, I said earlier, usually this period of time is downpourings in India, right? It's really, really heavy rains. So on the way back, due to this heavy rain, they could not make their journey. They had to stop it on the way because they could not reach to the Savatthi, right? So they decided to observe their rains retreat on the way. On the way, someplace they arranged some place and they observed. And having completed these 3 months of time, they started their journey to go and see the Buddha again. Finally, this 30 group of monks were able to reach the Buddha, and having seen their appearance, Buddha asked, "How was your rainy retreat? How was your rains retreat? How did you spend?" The monks said, "It was good. It was really good. We spent our rain retreat happily, peacefully, without any problems." But having seen their robes, they are worn out and muddy and dirty, right? And a lot of patches were there. So having seen that, the Buddha saw that kind of situation the monk had to face during this period of time. Then actually at that time, Buddha had an idea to give robe to the robe, actually not robe, piece of clothes to these monks to sew as it is a robe and to get it and wear it. So the Buddha gave his own piece of clothes to these monks. And also having considering requirements of robes for other monks as well. So the Buddha especially promulgated Vinaya rule, disciplinary rule, allowing monks to use extra robes, other robes, right? That is how this offering of Katina robe came into being, right? That is the origin of Katina robe offering, how Buddha allowed monks to use extra robes, right? And you know what? This is the happiest moment for monks actually. And this is the best time for monks actually. You know that when I was a small novice monk, this is the most happiest time in my life. Why? Because this is the time I get new robe, a new set of robes, right? And I never missed this chance. I never missed this ceremony when I was in Sri Lanka. Because this is the time I get new robes. I know you get all the time new clothes every weeks of the month. You get new clothes sometime, right? Every month you may get the new clothes. But monks sometimes we get only one set of robes in a year, right? So I really felt very happy during this time. But now not like that. But we have a lot of robes. People offer robes every day sometime, right? But a long time ago, a few years ago, even I experienced this happiness. I only sometimes get one robe in a year. Yeah, that's why when I was a monastic student, so I extremely became very happy during this period of time because I can get new robes, right? So very happy. It's like a new year for monk, all right? It's a new year for monks, especially for novice monk. Now it has changed, but now people can offer different types of clothes for monks any days of the month, right? There are some other kind of things I want to say, but it is not time to tell everything. You know that in here also sometimes I see some temples they still practice like how Buddha practiced, right? It's like they already practice. They are practicing some kind of old or origin ways in terms of preparing robes. Sometimes they cut pieces of clothes and then they dye it, means add colors using some kind of old methods, right? They add some colors. I say that dyeing clothes, adding colors. And then having completed that, having added dyed colors, they start sewing the robes, adding piece by piece, right? If you come on that day, 30th of this month, if you come to our temple, so you will get the chance to sew the robe. We have a ceremony which is called sewing robe ceremony. Okay, it is on 30th October. It starts at 8:30. So please come. It is a very really wonderful event. Please come and get the chance of sewing the robe. So that is how people prepare these special types of robe, Katina robe, right? So these are some kind of information about the Katina ceremony. Now we have to understand the benefits of Katina ceremony. What kind of benefits you get if you practice Katina ceremony? That is the important part, right? Why people practice? What are the benefits you can get when you practice Katina ceremony? You have to understand that. So once Buddha, once he got together with other members of the Mahasangha, Arahant disciples of Buddha, one day the Buddha requested monks, saying that, monks, if there are anyone in this group who have performed, who have conducted, who have offered Katina ceremony in one of previous lives, please share your experience with the other monks. That was the request of the Buddha to the monks. And then there was a monk among them, what was his name? Nagita Thera, Mahanagita Thera. There is a call Nagita Padana, the book which explains the the benefits of performing or conducting Katina ceremony by Venerable Nagita Thera, right? Nagita Thera, one of his previous lives, he was born as a rich man in the time in Brahmadam. Bandhumati is a place. Bandhumati is a place in India. So in that place, he was born as a rich man, and then that time it was the time of during the time Vipassi Buddha, right? One of the previous Buddhas. So the Vipassi Buddha was the one who was at that time, and he invited the Buddha Vipassi and other monks to observe rains retreat, and he provided with food and all the requisites to the monks who observe rains retreat during that period of time. Okay, and as a result of that, he said like this: Gautama Buddha, because of that offering, because of that sponsorship to the Buddha Vipassi and other monks, I got like this. I got these benefits. What are those benefits? As a result of this offering, he never be born in all woeful states, like in purgatory states. How many? He said, since the time he was born in a heavenly world for eight kalpas. 8 kalpas means it's incalculable period of time. We can't imagine how long, how many years. It's incalculable, unimaginable period of time, right? So kalpas means a really, really long period of time. So 18 kalpas, 18 long period of times, he had never been born. He was never be born in any kind of into any kind of lower realms or woeful realms, because of these offerings. 8 kalpas, he said like that. And also he was the king of God, Sakka, 34 times, he said. King of divine world, Sakka, right? That's how he explained, okay? And also he said he was universal monarch. How many times? 84 times. He was the king of this universe, 84 times. This is how we explain to his result to other monks. And he was born only as a god and a human being, as a Khattiya and a Brahmin. So these two classes and caste are considered as highest caste in India. So he was born into this higher superior, into this superior and highest caste, right? And he said, in his last birth, he was born as a human being during the times of Gautama Buddha's dispensation, right? And then he was able to realize Dhamma, and he was able to become Arahant monk, enlightened monk, right? And at his last birth, during the life of Gautama Buddha, right? So that's how he explained. Did you understand? Yeah. Like he said that in his last birth, he got when the Gautama Buddha was there, right? Gautama Buddha, yeah. It's like Gautama Buddha. Sorry? It's a Gautama Buddha. Yeah, Sakyamuni Buddha. Nagita, Venerable Nagita. Yeah. Nagita is the monk who got enlightenment in his last birth during the Gautama Buddha's dispensation, and he explained his benefits to these monks, right? To the assembly of monks. These are the benefits that people can get if they offer, or if they have offered Katina robe, or if they have sponsored for rains retreat, right? So that's how they can get. And also the monk who observed rains retreat, he also can get some kind of benefits. Like, let's say that I observe rains retreat at this temple. So if I get that katina robe, if I receive that particular type of katina robe, I have 5 types of privileges. I can get 5 types of privileges of relaxation. 5 types of relaxation I can get. Do you know that? Yeah. Last year, I got katina robe, that is special type of robe. So I had that kind of privileges and relaxation for 5 months. Okay. What are these? First one, monk. If monk gets this special robe called katina robe, he is able to go out of the temple without informing anyone. I can go out if I get katina robe without informing chief monk at the temple. I have that relaxation. Before that, I had to inform my master, my teacher. Teacher, I want to go to shop, or I want to go to my friend's house. I want to go somewhere else. So I had to inform, and I had to get permission from monk, senior monk or chief monk. But once I got this robe, katina robe, I am free to go without asking, without permission. That is one privilege I get. And the second one, the monk, he may be able to go without taking the full set of 3 robes. You know that monks, when they go out, they have to bring 3 set of robes. What are those 3 set of robes? A single robe, and 2 layers robe, and also inner robe. Yeah. So these 3 set of robes must be there when monks go out. When monks go out, always these 3 types of set of robes should be with monks. But once I got this katina robe, I don't need to bring all the other extra robes. I mean the 3 main set of robes, right? So I am free. I am relaxed. I have relaxation of that. And the third benefit I get, I may be, or he may be able to participate in group meal, right? If you invite me, okay, Bante or monk, we have prepared this particular types of food today. Okay, we have cooked laksa. Please come and eat laksa. And we have prepared some kind of tofu or some kind of other food, special types of food if they have prepared. And if you asked me, come and have that particular type of food at our home, so I am free to go. I don't need to ask permission, or I am free to go, and I can accept whatever you have prepared. If you have, and if you're willing to offer to me, to that particular type of monk who received katina robe, he's able to go and get that food, right? He has that kind of relaxation, and he's free for 5 months. Okay. The fourth benefit he get, he may use many robes as he likes, right? Normally, you know that monks can't have many robes as he wishes, right? Because all the requisites and robes are offered to the community of monks, right? So each and every single members of the monks are responsible for all the requisites offered to temple, which are offered to temple. So it's like, say, if I say, if I am the chief of this temple, so I even can't use all of them. I even can't belong to all of them. They are not belong to me. They are belong to the community of all the members of the monks at the temple. But once I got that particular type of katina robe, I am able to have all the requisites by myself. So I have that privilege to use all the requisites which are offered on the katina day, or all the other requisites for 5 months, right? That's how lucky the person who got katina robe, right? That is the privilege. And the fifth one, he may receive other robes offering during the rain retreat and the katina ceremony. So I am able to accept all the requisites, all the things for my own usage. let's say that if you bring something on that Katina day, so if you offer things to that temple, so I can own all those things. Those things maybe belong to the monk who got Katina robe, right? So that are the privileges that monks usually get. And also there are some other benefits you also can get when the monks experience these privileges. You also can experience some kind of privileges, like you can go anywhere without danger and hindrances or obstructions, right? When the monks experience these 5 privileges, in the same way you can experience all the other benefits in return as well. And also you are safe, or you are free from fire, water, wicked things, and thieves and ungrateful children cannot destroy their property. So you will be safe from all those dangers actually. And also they can perform their task without any difficulties if you have performed a sponsored Katina ceremony. And also they will not meet any danger on account of their meal. So you may not eat or get poisoned food, right? And also their belongings will be kept safe, and also they can get many clothes, they can own many other possessions, they will be able to keep their properties. So these are the benefits you can get in return when monk experience these 5 benefits. So I will conclude the Dhamma talk here. I still have a lot of things to say, but it is not time to tell everything. So I wish you all the best. May the blessings of this Dhamma talk be upon you. Say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.